Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to SimTraX Broadcasting. We come here to you live on this fine Monday night here with the National Oval Racing Association. We arrive here at the Lady in Black, the track that is too tough to tame. Darlington is, which we are going to see a bunch of drivers out here scrubbing that wall and ruining the right side of their car. But as this track starts to warm up or cool down, depending on what this track starts to change, after the practice warm-up, we see here everything is going to kind of get scrubbed and kind of be undone here. The track will be clean tonight, so there will be no fresh rubber laid down, so this track is going to be slick. Oddly enough, as I say it's going to be slick, Darlington is extremely tough out there on tires. Now, they say the racing surface is almost like 80 grit sandpaper out there, which means these drivers are going to be showing up with at least 10 sets of tires here tonight. So let's go ahead and show you guys what they've got set up. So those 10 sets of tires out there in the pits will be hanging out. Normally, I've seen about 12 sets of normally what they actually average out there on the crews, which rounds about a $19,000 bill out there for the race crews. So you'll see some guys taking 4 tires earlier than later, changing up that pit strategy. So a lot of things are going to change under the 176 laps. 60% fuel limit, so expect somewhere around about that 27 to 31 mark. Everybody's kind of switching off here and there, depending or not whether they're going to be making it on fuel or squeezing it in. But a fixed setup race here, Stella. This is going to be an excellent race. I'm concerned with that track temperature being 85. It's going to be super slick out there. It's not going to be rubbered up. Spidey sense is telling me we're going to have a bunch of cautions here.
Yeah, well, we should have practice carryover from the practice, so there may be just a little bit of forgiveness there, but 176 laps should be fun.
Yeah, just a hair. The only thing I'm showing is there's going to be a little bit of the marbles and the dust will remain. Practice starts at 0%, seeing that it had rained the day before. So this thing is definitely scrubbed here, and this is what they call the track being green, is there's no rubber laid down out there, so a lot of guys are having some trouble even during the warm-up that we're seeing here. They've got their qualifying cars out there. They're feeling confident, and with that 10 miles an hour wind as it comes whipping out of turn number 2, we're going to see a lot of guys slipping and sliding tonight, so that is going to be extra tough here for these guys to get kicked off on the Carolina Dodge Dealers 240 here tonight. Now, a lot of these guys are trying to switch up even teams. Take a look at Brady Motes as he slides on the front stretch. Looks a little bit like Jerry Nadeau back in the 2003 season, where he ended up slipping out. Yep, and gets a little frustrated and pops the wall there again. But we're going to see how well these guys are going to do here tonight. And Stella, right now, I can confirm out there, drivers are excited. They're behind the wheel. We're getting ready to go. So as they get out there on the grid here for tonight, I can't wait to see where our top drivers are. And oddly enough, normally at a track like this here, Stella, your top guys are normally starting from the back. All previous winners are normally starting from the back here at this race, and it's oddly enough that you'll see them from normally, even the real lifetime, from row 14 on back. Now, once they move into the next-gen cars, everything gets scrubbed. Different lines we've seen these guys take it, so I can't talk much for the next-gens. We're sticking here with the 2004 season that we are seeing them run here. So as they get ready to go here in just a moment, Darlington Speedway is more of an egg-shaped track here, Stella, and we're seeing a lot of these guys try to pick it here as we take a look here at the track. 1 and 2 are going to be nice, wide open. Guys able to maybe dive a little higher into that turn. Coming out of 2, getting very close to the walls. They run down the Earnhardt backstretch. And then you're going to see right around 3 and 4. This is even where the Days of Thunder movie came in, is you can't take the outside on turn number 4. These cars don't like handling it. The tires don't like holding on. And if you decide to try to take that outside line, you're not going to be there long without reconfiguring that side of the car. So that is going to be a huge negative out there for the drivers, but a plus side for the guys riding on the bottom. You can ride the outside guy up into the turn, slow him down, and go ahead and let them on by. So let's go ahead and take a look at our race lineup here for tonight as we get ready, as our grid is getting started here. Dalton Tucker and Nicholas Pressey will be starting number 1 and 2. Good to see Pressey returning back up to the top front row. We haven't seen him up there since Daytona. Moving on to Vincent Arthur, who's been winning a lot here lately in the 24 machine. He'll be starting on the inside of Kevin Baumler. Moving on to Dustin Kleba, who starts 5th. Brady Motes is 6th. We saw Brady Motes sliding out there just a little bit right before we got ready to grid. So hopefully his car, they have gone ahead and made sure no damage is done to that car and will be back going. Eric Essery will be starting out there in the Ricky Craven car. He'll be starting 7th next to Tay McDonald. Now, Tay, a little confused out there as he's fighting with Dylan Picklesheimer on a little bit of different strategies they're considering running tonight. That's going to be a huge downside for that team. Hopefully they can get everything worked out and start getting on the same page. Moving on to Josh Conover, starting on the inside of row number 5 next to Brian Jones. Jacob Gladelick will be starting in 11th, looking to move his way up to the front in that number 20 car. Tony Stewart's had a lot of success here at this track. Let's see if he can keep it going. Moving on with Blake Hoppy, who starts in the 12th position. He'll be in the 31 machine. Can't mistake him in that Robbie Gordon Singular Wireless car. Let's move on here for the rest of our field, where Jake Christenberry, Cody Reeder starts 13th and 14th. Al Likens is 15th, and Cody Smith sits in that 16th position. Alrighty, we are moving way back here in the field where we find Nick Giles and Matthew George. Dylan Picklesheimer is 19th, and Sam Taylor starting in that 20th position. Boy, oh boy, Stella, we are already way back here in the field where I would be concerned if I were a driver like Ed Adams, who's starting in the number 21 car. Hopefully he gets a little drum up, a little success. Maybe some Ricky Rudd theme going on here as he holds on to the 21 car in 21st. James Hudson will be in the 22nd position, and Christopher Heights will be starting 23rd next to Spencer Burton. Final driver here in the track should be Tim Harper. I'm looking to see if he is going to be racing here tonight. I believe the 18 machine will be rolling around out there tonight. Yes, Bobby Labonte out there will be hanging it in there for the Interstate Batteries car. Thank you for everybody for joining us here at SimTraX Broadcasting for the Carolina Dodge Dealers 240 here tonight. This should be an excellent race. Hold on to your seats because these guys are going to get ready to go. Stella, anything left to add here as we get this track prepped, pace cars ready, and getting ready to head on off the track?
Pace truck, get out of here.
Yep, well, we're going to see it here as this is going to be an excellent run. I definitely expect to see a few cautions here early. Now, I would say some of your big names are going to be definitely trying a lot of trying here tonight not to get involved. Remember I said some of your faster drivers out there, Dylan Picklesheimer, Ed Adams. Look at these guys. These guys are starting in the 9th and 10th row way in the back. So they're going to be fighting their way up to the front as Josh Conover will have his opportunity to see if he has any luck getting up to the front as well. Let's go ahead and get a look here as we get ready to start this race. In front, Dalton Tucker, Nicholas Pressey. Here we go. Green flags out. Already a little sliding here. Looks like Essery's out of the line. Essery drops down to the bottom. Looks like he got bumped. Essery rotating on back. This is horrible for him. As I'm at a loss of words. He's down 11 now, rolling back to the 18th. I think he might be able to tuck in right behind Matthew George. Fortunately, that does end up his roll backwards there as we move up to Conover. Conover starting to get his hands full as he's got some separation. Watching Brady Motes and Brian Jones going at it in front of him. This race still being led by Nick Pressey. He got past Dalton Tucker pretty quick there. Vincent Arthur sitting 3rd. Kevin Palmer is 4th. Dustin Kleba still remains in that 5th position. Lap number 2 almost complete.
Yeah, it looks like Nicholas Pressey is not running a 2004 Gen 4 right now. It looks like he's back in the 50s with a black and white schemed car. I think perhaps he needs to go back to the drawing board on that one.
Yeah, I'm not sure of the 94 car. He should be technically in the number 0 out there for Ward Burton here tonight, so it looks like a little shuffle up and maybe fixing that. Now, speaking of the 50s here, Stella, we've got at least 25 drivers out there on the track, but boy, oh boy, I guarantee you see 25 drivers, they stick 43 on the track here sometimes. Can you imagine back in the 50s where they had 80 to 90 cars running all at once at this track?
No, I mean, that would be insane. Even the 40 is a good full field, but twice that, no, that'd be dangerous.
Yep, that will be. Take a look at Kyle Petty or Brian Jones out there in the 45 machine, knocking down one of the fastest laps here of tonight, breaking under the 29.5-second mark. He's continuing to churn his way up to the front. Great job there. Now let's check back on Jake Christenberry out there in the 84. 84 taking a look here to the inside of Jacob Gladelick. Gladelick goes down, almost running a next-gen line. You'll see guys run high, dip back low, and then high again, which you're seeing, oh man, a lot of guys are noticing that it is not running like a next-gen car. These are the Gen 4s, so I would say, yes, you're battling the track out there, but this is a completely different animal that you've got underneath the hood here. Not very, as we still run on the 10.5-inch tires, no longer in the low pros. Guys are starting to feel the pressure here of getting out of those newer cars, back into the older cars, back into that worn track, and we're seeing who's getting ready to earn their Darlington stripe. As the tires start setting in here a little bit, I'm a little concerned with the driver of Al Lycan sitting right behind him, getting a little loose here the past couple of turns. Yep, there you go, as I see somebody out there, FB, rooting on the 77, who's right now under fire here by Cody Reeder. Oddly enough, yes, this is the battle here for 12th. Going ahead, Al Likens lets him on by. Now, Stella, we've got a lot of turn exit speed, but when a guy gets underneath of you, you've got to let out of the gas or we're going to be in a wreck.
Yeah, I'm hoping during practice session they did practice next to each other versus just practicing them against the track. It does change all the dynamics when you put 25 cars all together.
Yeah, back in the 2003 race, Ryan Newman only let a few cars go by. Sam Taylor doing the exact opposite here. 20th up to 15th already here in the chart. It's a great job there by the number 12 All-Tail machine, as he is definitely finding a groove out there, and it's starting to work. Now, I would question here on our first pit stop, I guarantee you we will not see anybody taking 2 tires. There's absolutely no way, if you want to survive this race going up there and taking only 2, this track is just way too tough on the tires, and it does more than just scuff them here. So here we look at Jake Christenberry getting up to the 10th position, breaking into the top 10, and Cody Reeder is following along, moving Jacob Gladelick down to the 13th position. Number 20 starting to really feel the pressure here as he's on the roll backwards.
Yeah, we've seen Sam Taylor do some really wild things at the track. He works in the back, he comes up front. I'm interested to see how well he does this evening.
Yep, right now we keep an eye here on Jacob Gladelick, taking a look to see if his line is a little bit different here, and it is, as you see Al Lycan starting to pull away. Right now, the 20 car here of Jacob Gladelick trying to find another groove. There it is. Down toward the bottom, bump toward the top, and then back down toward the bottom. Notice how that doesn't seem to work for as long. Yes, he did gain some distance here and was able to catch up to Al Likens, but is his tires going to hold up to that kind of abuse? I don't think so. So we'll definitely hold our breath here for Jacob Gladelick as we move up to Vincent Arthur, where he is currently sitting in that number 2 spot. Remember Nick Pressey leading the race? Yeah, no more. That guy's even out of the top 5. Nick Pressey has dropped all the way down to 7th. Dalton Tucker has taken over the lead. Vincent Arthur sits 2nd. Dustin Kleba is 3rd. Moving back to Kevin Ballmer, who just passed Brian Jones. Jones is taking another look here at that 30 car, seeing if he can come alive here and see if he can get past Jeff Burton's car in the AOL machine.
Yeah, this is looking good. I mean, back in 2004, we did have, we did have Jimmy Johnson, who won this race, and he actually led 69 laps of the race. But we will see, because last week, Vincent Arthur led 80 of the laps of the 195 laps we had at Atlanta. So I'm wondering if he's going to get out front and try to stay out front for good.
Yeah, that would definitely be the best thing. Right now, a driver like Elliott Sadler back in the 2003 season actually got his first pole award here at Darlington. So he was able to squeeze out there, but was easily bumped out a couple laps later as they kept rolling on through. And we're talking previous winners. Back in 2002, it was actually Sterling Marlin who won here at Darlington. But both him and the 88 car of Dale Jarrett both came to this track with previous winning cars and were able to try to do something with it. get the rest of their team to come up with the same setup and come up with some sort of a game plan as they go out there. Dustin Kleba out there, one of those drivers with Evernham Motorsports, doing just that. Both Kleba and Brian Jones remain on that team, but we look all the way back to Cody Reeder, who sits 11th. A lot of guys are saying, hey, man, I've got long run speed. Other guys are saying, hey, I got short run speed, so they're going to try to switch it up a little bit when it comes to pit stops.
All right, that'll be interesting to see. And we're already on lap 15, and if you're talking lap 30 averaging out of fuel, we're going to be seeing some green flag pit stops if this keeps up.
Yep, well, great job here by our drivers out there. I am impressed to see no cautions here yet. I would expect maybe with a fresh set of tires it could happen. But if this thing goes green all the way, I'm going to eat my words, because these guys are doing a great job out here, getting single file, finding their spots, picking their guys, and starting to find places to make that pass. Brian Jones doing just that as he sits 5th. He started 10th here in that race. Kevin Balmer and Dalton Tucker, the only ones who haven't moved out here on the race, are still in their original qualifying position out there. Now I'm waiting to see as Brian Jones reels him in to less than 0.2 of a second. Drives a little hard through 3 and 4 there as you see a little bit of wiggle out of that 45 machine. And he's going to definitely pay for that as we head down the front stretch. Kevin Balmer now starting to stretch that back out to 0.3. So right now, Kevin Balmer not paying too much attention to that rearview mirror as Brian Jones is trying a couple of different things out there to see if he can make up some sort of speed out here on the track. But Stella, don't knock down Vincent Arthur here. He may be down by a second out there, but just like Jeff Gordon, he may come alive and come up with some sort of extra speed underneath that hood.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, he's the epitome of that 24 Jeff Gordon car. If he's within the top 10, I don't count him out for winning.
Yep, well, they have some definitely a lot of guys out here doing some stuff. Nick Pressey right now is currently battling for the 11th position as it looks like Al Likens gets on around. And our first caution coming out here of the night.
Oh.
The 88 machine, Dale Jarrett car, or James Hudson out there. Looks like he's got some damage to the right front of his car. Looks like he may be our first driver to greet the wall here tonight. And before that, it actually may have been Nick Gillis. Gillis came down on lap 13 and 14. And looks like he may have destroyed his race car out there. We'll see. Hudson still working his way into the pit box. And now's where the strategy starts to happen. Guys shuffling around out there. Let's see what happened to James Hudson out here, as he was out here rotating in the back. Not saying this was the cause of our caution here. He was our slowest driver and the one farthest back here. Nope, he's working his way on down in the pit. Is right. As we take a look here, trying to see if we can find possibility of somebody causing the yellow flag here. Right there. So the 18 car and the 22 of Cody Smith and Timmy Harper out there get turned around.
Yikes.
Yeah, and if you honestly see the way that's it was kind of boiling down heading into that turn, that is not exactly a great situation heading 3 wide into turn 1 there. They finally break it up. 18 gets a run though and then punts the 22. Boy, you see the 21 machine floss that one through? Ed Adams seeing his life flash before his eyes as they sling through that caution. Let's take one more look at his pit stops are underway. Here's from Ed Adams in car. Man, just so hard to see through all that smoke.
All right, well, I think that's pretty much, yeah, everyone except Jacob Gladelick, who is just now coming down into the pits. Everyone else has made their first stop.
Yeah, everybody knows Jacob Gladelick does kind of have the known for not pitting with the rest of the field. I don't blame him. 1, he's not contested for his pit box. 2, he'll have an extra lap of fuel here. So this will be a nice little touch that they'll be able to do. As the pace car gets ready to duck on off here in just a moment.
Wow, they better hurry. Timmy Harper is still sitting.
Yeah, they'll clump together. Hopefully we haven't seen the 30 drop out here yet. Stella, we may have you check out there on the AOL machine as he's dropping off the chart. I'm hoping he didn't have any sort of a packet loss here. So we'll see a couple of different things out there and kind of take a look. Speaking of taking a look, guys, you might want to check out In the Fence out there, brought to you by Dustin Kaleba and Cody Reeder. These guys are recapping the NORA events from the race and the NASCAR race weekend. Tune into it on Spotify. These guys are releasing it every Tuesday morning, and they're looking to be the best out there in iRacing and trying to apply for the official podcast of the NORA League. Check out In the Fence on Spotify. Let's go ahead and get this back under green here. Lap 22 underway. Dalton Tucker gets off to a great start. 4 tires and fuel. Back out on the track. Let's redo it. And here we go. Getting the Carolina Dodge dealers 240 back underway as Dalton Tucker, Vincent Arthur, Dustin Kaleba, 1, 2, and 3 heading down the Boeing backstretch. Right now, a couple of movers out there. Right now, Vincent Arthur, you saw him taking a peek here under Dalton Tucker. No dice. Trying to see if he's got any options here. Vincent Arthur taking another peek. Dustin Kaleba sits third. Brian Jones is fourth. Looks like the Abraham Motorsports guys are starting to clump together here. Right now, they are currently sitting 3, 4, and 8th. Continue to churn forward. Right now I'm seeing Hendrick Motorsports getting the best of it here as they are continuing to charge up to the front. Haas Racing out there with Nick Pressey. Laid down a hot lap, but racing in the crowd isn't doing so well. Nicholas Pressey, apparently this track has loosened up for him as he has been fighting that race car ever so tight. You notice that car is just plowing through the turns here. So Pressey goes from the top row here as he started in second down to the 15th position. So tough run here as Al Likens and Ed Adams are going to duel it out here. Starting out down the front stretch, and it looks like Al Likens is going to have him here into turn number 1.
Yes, he made a nice clean pass there. Our two fellas that are up the most from where they started right now is Matthew George in the 25 car and Dylan Fickelsheimer. They are both up 8 places. Yep,
good pass there by Jake Christenberry for the 6th position. That gives him 7 here on the night. Right now, Brady Moats out there in the number 1 snap-on machine trying to figure out how to make it happen and see if he can pass him back. But if he doesn't, Cody Reeder is going to be there to pounce. But unfortunately, that is going to be an outside pass. So Cody Reeder got his hands full to see if that number 19 can come into play here. He's gained 6. He's looking for 7.
Yeah, and I cannot confirm or deny as far as James Hudson. He is not in the Discord to where I can communicate with him. 3 wide. Look at these guys all mashed up together.
Yeah, right now I'm seeing that 31 machine of Blake Hoppy finally getting the best here of Brady Moats. Moats drops down now his 3rd position here, now sitting down in 9th. Had a good pit stop there, but 14.83, one of the faster guys in and out of the box out there, but he's having some trouble as they continue this race. Right now I'm wondering if he's waiting for those tires to get up.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but Nick Gillis has been doing some unusual pit strategy this evening. He is back down again. He did do 1 more lap on lap 18, but is back down in the pits again. Not sure if he's got damage or if he's just spotting for his team.
Yeah, and James Hudson being our first retiree here of the night. And Kevin Ballmer still fighting some connection issues back here as we just can't seem to find that number 30 machine as he keeps disconnecting. Right now, that is not good here for Kevin Ballmer. There he is. Yeah, Kevin Ballmer and Tay McDonald both having connection issues most of the time. Right now, any Cody Smith fans out there not happy about the number 22 getting pinballed around here again. Tay McDonald getting sideways as he blinks out, comes back, and he's straight again. Holy cow.
Well, that's handy.
My gosh, I think anybody in the back there is now starting to get sick. They're a little nervous of that, where that...
Oh, very well.
There he is.
There he gone.
Yeah, so now you're getting almost a driver view of what you're seeing here. Tay McDonald may be black flagged here and sent to the back of the field. As Tay McDonald, slides back to 21st. Christopher Heights is way off pace, as it looks like the number 17 machine there of Matt Kenseth or Christopher Heights has dealt with the wall, and Darlington's come up and bit him.
Yeah, he's still having a little bit of trouble there. Back end, trying to wag the dog.
Yep, they're taking a couple different angles here. Take a look at Vincent Arthur under fire here by Brian Jones. I give it to Brian Jones there, getting close enough here to the 24 Vincent Arthur, and it's actually starting to loosen him up here. Right now, the 24 machine trying to see if he can hold on. Notice how the 24 drops down to the bottom, and that car is starting to step. Whoop! Right there it is again, stepping sideways on him. And right now, I think Vincent Arthur might be having his hands full, as Brian Jones is all over him. Dalton Tucker still leading this race, though, since the restart. He's getting ready to catch up on some lap traffic here. I believe that is Timmy Harper out there in the 18 machine, trying to stay from going a lap down.
He's coming up on him pretty quick, and he's a second slower each lap, Timmy Harper is, so it's not going to take long.
Yeah, remember the 18 did have a bunch of damage out there when we went from the last caution. So we'll see if that does kind of come into play here, whether that's going to stay that way or if the 18 will get a favorable caution and be able to come back down and fix that car up, because, man, oh, man, he is not entertaining the thought of coming down on a green flag stop to try to fix that car. No way.
No, not at all. But he did not take any time, really. He was only down in the pits for 16 seconds. That's not much repair. So either he didn't have enough to warrant sitting there, or he's winging it.
Yeah, checking out our drone view here. There's the damage to the right front. Here's the damage to the left front. So it's kind of bullet-shaped, his car here. His tires wide open to the air. And you can see him fighting the wheel from the inside. If you see that little red stripe, that is him fighting the car.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's trying to hold on. That's the leaders behind him. He's going to go ahead and duck on off here. We'll see how this gets going. We'll stick to our leaders here. Vincent Arthur is still being chased by Brian Jones. Jones slacking off just a bit, dropping about a quarter of a second. Heading on down into pits is Timmy Harper. 5 minutes sitting down pit road is Nick Geilis out there in the 97. Right now he's got some Kurt Busch problems. Looks like he keeps smacking the wall, and that car just isn't keeping up with him there. And Gavin Baldwin's still blinking out here a little bit. Let's move up to Eric Essery. Remember, Essery got bumped out, and oh my gosh, into the wall goes Dylan Picklesheimer. Hard smack into the wall.
Ow.
No caution going to come of that, but oh my gosh, did he get hammered?
Yeah, well, now he is kind of in traffic.
Hey, yeah, heavy damage. Right front of his car is broken here. No caution is out. We'll see if there's debris out there on the track.
Wow. Considering he stopped while cars were still going by and then kind of cut down, but he's going to end up getting a big nasty flag for missing his cone.
Right here is the hit. Hits again.
Two. Yeah.
And clink off Matthew George. That's what broke him.
Oh.
And it hooks him into the wall. The worst part is trying to get down on the bottom. Notice with the right front broken, he can't turn the car.
Yeah. Did you notice somebody else just took a Darlington stripe? Getting around.
Yeah, I'm really surprised this didn't bring out a caution here. Yeah, he's actually using the turn to try to straighten that car back out. So Dylan Picklesheimer may be done for the night here. We'll see if this is a quick fix. I doubt it.
Well, I'll watch the cool down room, see if he comes in what happened.
Yep, we'll definitely check in on that. Checking out the 25 machine here of Matthew George. Give him a nice little look around out there. And the number 25, the Brian Vickers machine, right now in his Chevy Monte Carlo. And it looks like he's no worse for the wear. I think that car may be squared away and he'll be all right, as he's the one who took the smack.
On the right side, they kept Picklesheimer up. But let's take a look, a couple cars back there. That red and white, this one. He rode that wall something fierce. That does say Velveeta on the back. Sorry, I was going to say the Velveeta car, and I thought I was imagining things.
No, you are not. Out there running the number 6 machine for Mark Martin. Spencer Burton is currently sitting in the 16th position. We can kind of see it from here. He's got some damage to the right front, as he has got that thing squashed up pretty good. That should be nice and smooth right before the tire, so you do see around that wick sticker down there on the bottom as we get our Greyhound cam here, taking a look. Oh! As he steps it sideways there as we shoot down the backstretch again in front of the Earnhardt Towers. And I think Spencer Burton's going to come in for tires here. Yeah, I think
Sounds good.
Yeah, he's throwing in the hat. He's had him enough. Most guys pitting back on lap number 19. As we are stretching these tires out as far as they'll go. Give it to Dustin Kleba for sticking it out there. Kleba has actually passed Brian Jones and Vincent Arthur. Vincent Arthur has dropped down to the 4th position now, as he is starting to feel this tire wear coming into play. Stella, I still say, don't knock out Vincent Arthur. I know sometimes he's the favorite to win out there, but do not knock him out. This guy can come from behind. He figures out the tires. He says, hey, man, this thing is working for me, and he'll go out there and he'll make a couple of adjustments and figure out what he needs to do to his racing line to make it work.
Yeah, now somebody we're missing tonight is Michael Moultrie. He led 50 laps at Atlanta. Ended up not coming in as the winner. Like I said, Vincent Arthur did 80. But any clue here from the chat out there? See if he's listening or watching?
Yeah, unknown on Moultrie's position out there. Hopefully he does return back. He's one of the guys that everybody really likes driving around out there. And hopefully he can return back here to the race. And have an opportunity to fight these guys back. Taking a look here, this is Matthew George going ahead and letting Kevin Ballmer the blinker, and oh my gosh, yep, well, right now the 25 does have right front damage this time, as he gives a quick smack to the wall there on the exit of 2. Estella, some say everyone earns the Darlington stripe there, but there's a way you actually hit the wall here. It's best to almost scrub the edge of it there and let the car ride around. But that concrete not too forgiving out there, and you can see just that. Matthew George has got right front damage, and hopefully it does not affect his race too poorly here.
Yeah, well, I can confirm that this year, 2004, they did put in the safer barrier, as well as permanent lighting onto Darlington. So just some trivia for you.
All right, on the move is Dustin Kleba. Right now, he is picking up almost identical lap times that Dalton Tucker is. Tucker may be in the lead for now, but right now, remember I said Kleba was down in the 4th position, and he's now challenging for the lead late in the run, which is really key here for our guys out there in Evernham Motorsports. Right now, Kleba may have figured out something with this car. As soon as these tires wear in, he can definitely kind of, whoa, there's a good pass, and now our new leader is Dustin Kleba. Great job there. Little slip up there by Dalton Tucker, and that's what he was waiting for. Kleba off to the races, and away he goes. Right in front of the Earnhardt Towers, dives into 3, and he's already got a half-second lead in front of our leader for most of this race of Dalton Tucker out there in the number 42 machine.
Yeah, and we also have a couple guys heading into pits, Brian Jones and Sam Taylor. Going to see how they can fix themselves up and get back out here and challenge again.
I think everybody was waiting for a possible caution out there to not go a lap down here at Darlington. Right now, our lap times are somewhere around that 31-second mark. It's taken about 53 seconds to get out of the lane. All right, the Jamie McMurray car coming on down into pit road. As they continue on, Kleba, Arthur, Conover, Hey, Conover, not bad. Up there for Hendrick Motorsports, currently sitting in third after a few drivers pit stopping in front of him here. Another Evernham Motorsports car of Cody Reeder and Eric Essery. Not bad for sticking it out here. 32 machine returning back to the top 5. As he, remember, he was early bumped out on lap number 1 and 2. And he went down onto the bottom lane and was just unable to recover, shot all the way back. And now that Tide machine is back up front. So not bad. Maybe he has summoned the Ricky Craven gods to fight him back to the front as we get lap number 50 underway.
Yeah, looking good. We've got most everybody not making any unusual pit stops as far as, like you say, they're not doing the 2 tires. They're getting their 4 tires and their tank of gas.
Yeah, I was saying earlier, absolutely no way that guys are going to take a handicap out there by only taking 2 tires. Right now, Timmy Harper is the one who's damaged the most out here. Remember, he got into the back of the 22 machine there of Cody Smith. And Smith still seems to be rocking and rolling here so far. He's already taken his tires back on lap number 43. Question is, has that too early? Drivers are coming in now in the 50s, and right now his tires are going to be about 7 laps too old to be battling the rest of this field. But as right now, the 6 car diving underneath of him here, as it looks like right now Spencer Burton is trying to make a pass here. I give it to a car a lap. Yeah, I give it to him. A car being a lap down, go ahead and let him on by. But man, oh man, to me it's not worth my race car fighting that one off. Let's see if we can take a peek here, as I want to take a look here at the backside of the 22. He's got some damage.
Just a tad.
Well, remember when those 2 cars got in cahoots out there, that the 2 of them got going? He was the one sliding backwards and kissed it off the wall. So not enough caution time for him to fix that race car. So right now it's going to be an uphill battle for Cody Smith. Currently sitting 9th, but I don't know for how long, as he may be on the roll backwards here with those older tires. Number 6 is Spencer Burton getting loose here. Cody Smith is now white-knuckled, and he's on around.
Yeah, and Spencer Burton spent over a minute in pits on lap 41, so he was already fixing up some damage from previous. Oh dear. Is he dog tracking?
Just a little bit. The 20 has suffered some damage here some of this race. As you can see, that right front is banged up pretty bad. Just barely makes it in his pit box, though, so A-OK. Let's get back to it. Dalton Tucker sitting in the number 1 spot. Brian Jones sits 2nd, and Dustin Kleba falls out of the lead back down to 3rd. Right now, Kleba couldn't be happier. He's been hovering in the top 5 here all night. So nothing, not bad. At least he'll have something to write home about here at the Carolina Dodge Dealers 240. Do appreciate you guys joining us here at SimTraX Broadcasting, bringing you the National Oval Racing Association, as these guys are racing fixed setup Gen 4 cars. And we are here at Darlington, South Carolina tonight, as these guys continue to do battle, breaking over just about that 1/3 part here of that race, as Dustin Kleba gets the front end rotating there. Right now, I think he's starting to think he might be back on those little bit worn tires there. He's got to take it easy. You know, he wants to stay in front of Vincent Arthur, and he has plenty of room to do so. Vincent Arthur is back by about 4 1/4 seconds.
Yeah, it's early on.
Yeah, as we take a look here. Right now, this is Dustin Kleba. We look back. There's Vincent Arthur. And Vincent Arthur kind of stuck in the middle. Right now, 4 1/4 to get up front, and about 2 1/2 behind him before you find Conover. So, Stella, you want to talk about some wild stuff happening down pit lane there. You wouldn't think the offset of people pitting on different laps would take that much of abuse out there.
It's making a difference, but I'm wondering, like you say, Vince Arthur and Josh Conover being at 50. Everybody in front of him's at 47, 48, 49. It may not show now that because they're sitting in 4th and 5th, but I think in the long run, they will end up being able to take over Kleba and Jones, or Jones and Tucker.
Yeah, take a look back here at Dylan Picklesheimer. Remember, he had some right front damage. Was one of our vehicles to be elected out there for an inside car cam. And we're checking in on that steering wheel here. Yeah, it looks like it's doing okay, but it's still plowing. A lot of front end damage still to the front end of that number 2 Miller Lite machine. So he may handle okay here. Go ahead.
It took him over 9.5 minutes to get it back on the track at all. So I think he's okay.
Oof.
Oh, darn. Well, a little less okay.
Yeah. Well, a little more of that tape on there, and he may be coming back down into pit road. Right now, I know Dylan Picklesheimer would love to figure out how to get that car back straight and be competitive here tonight. But I don't think that Dodge is going to have anything for those guys here tonight. So Dylan Picklesheimer already starting on the back foot here, third of the way into this race. Check it out as right now Vincent Arthur starting to catch up to a driver. Yep, that's Christopher Heights. Heights is currently down a bunch of laps, I believe three laps. Christopher Heights is down as they're catching up on the DeWalt machine. And that DeWalt Ford is getting ready to have his hands full. Heights right now in the Matt Kenseth. Number 17, looking back at the Jeff Gordon. Number 24, Vincent Arthur. Vincent Arthur getting ready to reel him in here. Stella, I'm looking for a couple of drivers that might be pretty close out there. Right now, these are guys 1, 2, and 3 catching up to Jacob Gladelick, who actually, remember, pit a lap later because he had fuel. So he may be on the freshest tires out here on the track, but man, oh man, that front end damage is showing otherwise.
Yeah, and he did not fix any of that. He was only 14.8 in the pits. That's just enough for fuel and tires.
Yeah, I would say fixing any damage under green flag is suicide out there unless it hinders your ability to drive. Right now, that 20 machine has got to stay out front and stay in front of these guys before he gets in any sort of trouble. I mean, he's less than a second and a half from going a lap down here. And right now, those are our leaders. And now Dalton Tucker out there in the Haviland machine, seeing if he's got anything for these guys. Right now, he's been commanding most of this race. Only had a little tussle up there with Nick Pressey. But Pressey, we haven't seen him in God knows how long. That guy's all the way back here in 17th. Hopefully Pressey will be able to turn back forward. That monochrome paint definitely tripping everybody out just a little bit there. As he's following behind Ed Adams and Sam Taylor.
And poor Tay. I mean, he's been blinking faster than a Victoria's Secret model.
Yeah. Yeah, right now it looks like he may have traded it there with Nick Al's internet connection over there with the Racing Revolution.
Oh.
So he's going to pay for that.
Man, that all-cell car took a sharp left.
Yeah, the Ryan Newman car there of Sam Taylor getting sideways out there. Didn't look too hot. Right now he's still up 5 positions, but it seems Sam Taylor seems to have stalled out here. And right now I guarantee you a couple of guys that are sitting behind him are getting a little nervous if that 12 car is going to step out. Right now, the 21 of Ed Adams has been taking the air off that rear spoiler here, Stella, and right now I think he would love to have these guys get on around him to help get some front downforce to that nose.
Yeah, something's happening. I mean, that was 2 turns in a row. It's like pucker time.
As this track starts to rubber up, you would think it's starting to get a little tackier out there, but it looks like, oh my gosh, Cody Smith, our driver, bringing out her second caution here of the night. Right now, Jessica's not going to be too happy about the 22. No. I think we may be retiring for the night. We'll see if he decides to come back from this.
That was a hit.
Pitting under caution. That's going to be at least 3 to 4 minutes of tow time here.
Oh,
Yep.
Okay.
So caution comes out. Dalton Tucker will be looking to find that pace truck again. Expect everybody to come back down and pit.
Even though it's only been 20 laps?
Yep, it'll be just about 20 laps. I guarantee you the best play here is to throw another set on.
Okay.
Could you imagine running out there and staying out there? That would be the most insane thing ever. The way Darlington runs is so tough on these tires. I would not want to be 20 laps handicapped here, going back out there, expecting my car to do what it wants to do, whether or not even guys with damage. Now is the time to fix it. You've got to get down. You need to crunch up. So these guys who are 15 car lengths from getting down into pit road have actually, hung themselves here because they're not going to have enough time to get any of that damage fixed. Yeah, you can throw on 4 tires and fuel in about 15 seconds, which, we're all round of applause out there for our pit crew, but our body guys right now are the biggest guys out there tonight. They're the ones who are going to be really having the microscope on them of what damage can be fixed, what cannot be fixed, because we got to get our driver back out there and start getting faster. So right now we're seeing Kevin Balmer entering in the pit box. Misses it by just a hair there, but they're going to go ahead and get back to it. Right now, Dalton Tucker's just going to be able to floor it heading on back out as he had the number 1 spot in qualifying. Started the race in first, still remains first. So not bad here from the 42 machine. So the Haviland machine, 42 out there for Jamie McMurray. Pretty happy out there as he continues to lead this race. Dustin Kleba with a better pit stop time this time. Little slower in the box, but even slower out of the entire pit road there. But Dustin Kleba will have an opportunity as he'll be starting in that number 2 position.
All right. Yeah, I'm watching closely to see if we have anybody like Kevin Balmer who spent 30 seconds down there. So he did do a little bit of repair. And so far, yeah, Pressey, Tay McDonald, Jacob Gladelick, Sam Taylor, all taking the opportunity to get some of those vendors pulled back out.
Yeah, one driver I definitely want to make sure we circle and keep an eye on out there is the 25 machine. I'm hoping he's got everything fixed. Remember how we kind of honed in on him and watched him smack into the wall. That was unfortunate for him to see how that one went down. Let's take a look back at Cody Smith, who has taken it back to the garage. We have confirmed.
Yes.
Cody Smith coming out of this turn kind of ugly here.
Wow.
Yeah, just coming in way too hot.
And Tay McDonald blinked through it. Did you happen to notice that? The 2 cars hit Cody Smith from behind.
Yeah, we'll take a look. Here's what Smith could have done is he would have needed to continue following on through and use the turn to help slow him down. When he went down to the bottom, that track is just so greasy, it just slung him up the track and destroyed his race car. So we'll see if Sam Taylor is able to recover from this. As unfortunately, I do not believe so. Right now, Sam Taylor with a ton of damage here. Stella, I would double check and be 100% sure. Watch our infield car care center and see if we've got a problem. And see if anybody out there, the number 12, definitely dealing with some problems. You can see the driver out of the car now getting back in. So they may be thinking that number 12 will return back to the track here, as they are currently assessing the damage. As we are back under green here, lap number 69, 70 should be underway, and Dalton Tucker still leading this race. Drivers all stay in single file here. Most of the time you do see under super speedway conditions, drivers are able to pick up some pace and churn their way back to the front. But right now, this is a huge move here for Al Likens going ahead and getting around the lap car of the number 2 of Dylan Picklesheimer. Picklesheimer, I believe, is currently looking at 20 laps down here. And he's going to be in a world of hurt here, as right now Al Likens is trying to apply some pressure here to Hoppy. Take a look back there at Hoppy. We got a driver already slinging off the track back there. And now if I'm kind of keeping an eye on it, I think that may have been, I don't think it's Ed Adams out there. Oh, man. Good move here by the 77. Al Likens to the inside. Not one, but now 2.
Run.
Yep. So in a matter of 3 laps here, Al Likens takes over out there and moves up into the top 10. Great job. As you can see right now, Hoppy having to wheel this one. Oddly enough, it almost gives you a false sense of security out there for some of the drivers even on this track. As these tires start to set in, they start feeling really well. Drivers will actually start pushing it a little too hard. Once they start pushing a little too hard, the tires start getting slick, and then they have absolutely no grip. You see drivers there are very disciplined out there, like Dustin Kaliba. Waits these guys out, long green flag run, able to take over the lead right at the end. Now, we'll see if he can lead the final lap here of this race, or is it going to go to Dalton Tucker or even Vincent Arthur? But Vincent Arthur under fire again here by Brian Jones. These two have been going at it here for almost this entire race. Brian Jones not real happy about looking at the backside of that DuPont machine, but he is trying to see if he can find a way around and just see if he can get past him. Right now, Vincent Arthur blocking about half the track here as he just can't seem to stay out of Brian Jones's way. Jones now sliding into 3.
Yeah, Josh Conover sitting behind them, just waiting to make sure that he's not going to have to play avoidance.
Boy, right now, the dodge there of Brian Jones almost getting himself a burn mark in the passenger door there from Vincent Arthur. Very, very close. So Vincent Arthur definitely knows he's around some professionals out there, and they all treat him the exact same. Very tough to drive around. Vincent Arthur now playing chase here. Brian Jones. Good pass. So we just watched the pass for that 3rd position. Right now, I think Matthew George is hopping around out there a little bit. I think a little nudge to the wall. As I believe Tay McDonald is still doing his thing. Boy, Stella, is Ed Adams' car smashed in? Look at the front nose. Yep.
Oh, yes, he has rearranged that a bit.
Boy. All right, so you know Ed Adams is playing from a hurt position. So is the number 20. So a lot of our guys who are in the back not having a whole lot of success. Somebody who is having some success is Cody Reeder. Reeder up 8 positions here on the night, currently sitting in 6th, and following Josh Conover around this track. He seems to have it tamed pretty well, but we still say that Lady in Black comes out and strikes whenever she pleases. So let's see how this goes as lap number 78 is underway. Drivers diving back into turn number 1 here, guys on the lead.
Yeah, I was watching Jacob Gladwin there when he was on camera with Timmy Harper right behind him. He is the new guy on the block and for the Jacob Gladwin's team. So maybe he's giving him a few pointers here. Follow my line.
Boy, look how close those guys are getting to the wall out there. And there it is. Cody Reeder making his shot for the 5th position. Gets a great run off 3 and 4, follows behind Conover, slings underneath of it. They continue to churn forward. Dalton Tucker still leading this race. Right now, Josh Conover still hanging in there.
Coming up on Vincent Arthur pretty quick. It's surprising because his times are not showing that. He looks pretty close.
Yeah, Cody Reeder currently about 1/10 of a second off of Vincent Arthur. Last lap. We'll see if that does come into play. Conover going to see if he can fire around him here. Vincent Arthur seems to be slacking off a bit.
I think we've got some action back in the Christenberry Hoppy Balmer area.
That we do. Take a look here at Christenberry. Al Likens had broken into the top 10 last time we checked in on him. This is him currently up in the 9th position. Jake Christenberry taking a look. As the number 31 here, Blake Hoppy, starting to apply some pressure. Oddly enough, Christenberry had passed Hoppy as he was back behind him by a few car lengths, but I don't know if that right front damage is going to cause some problems here for the 84 Car Quest.
Yeah, it appears they've single filed and settled down. But the race is good.
Yep, as you see Kevin Balmer get into the wall there. between 3 and 4. Looks like one of the Bush brothers is having better luck, and that would be Jake Christenberry in the 84. Right now, Kurt Busch or Nick Geilis is currently sitting down in the pit road here, still for the last 31 minutes, so I do not believe the 97 will be returning here tonight. Say Stella not poking too much at Nick Geilis. More times than not, I've seen that Sharpie machine down pit road for extended amounts of times this season. And his race team and his pit crew are not too happy about what is going on out there on the track. These guys have been battling back and forth out there, trying to figure out if they've got anything for the rest of this field. But man, oh man, it seems they're fighting their equipment more than anything else.
Yeah, he does not. Doesn't make it too long, but at least he pulls out of the way, gets himself fixed up, comes back out again, and races until he doesn't.
Yep. Let's check back in on Jacob Gladelick. I just saw him fighting back there with Timmy Harper. Harper going up, pow, into the wall.
Yep.
Now, Harper looks like he got a good bit of damage fixed. He has been down pit road 4 times here tonight. And Timmy Harper may be back down pit road again to fix up some of that car. That thing is obviously much slower right now since he hit that wall.
Yes.
Through 3 and 4, so he's being punished for it now. Oof. Shot to the wall there by Nick Pressey. Now here's a weird stat for you, Stella. I bet you can't find anything on it. Yes, we may have the safer barrier walls, but did Darlington ever have to fix those concrete walls from everybody smashing off of it? Whoever designed this track had it in mind that maybe they owned a concrete company or something for how many times these guys make contact with the wall. And I mean, that's just everyday circle racing, you know. I'm not talking about a blowout and somebody smacking into the wall. These guys grind along the walls to get their way up to the front, which is pretty impressive out there. To say none the least.
I don't know if there's that much repair, but they do a whole lot of repainting.
Now, Darlington definitely has a great track. Been there myself, going there again. I got to admit, if you guys haven't been to Darlington, I definitely say is a must-see. Guys riding the wall ever so close out there, all the way around. It is impressive to see these guys being able to battle amongst each other out there. 43 drivers side by side. Almost reach out and hold the other guy's netting out there as they continue to, as they race around out there, and there's just not enough room. But oddly enough, Stella, when they added these safer barrier walls, we took away more of that track. So it's almost imperative that they ride higher because there isn't as much, you know, as much give room or as much wideness to the track that they depended on for decades before.
Yeah, you wouldn't think 2 feet makes that much difference, but it seems it does.
Oh, 100%. When you got guys riding within 6 inches of the wall, of course 2 feet matters. All right, speaking of which, 2-footing it down pit road is going to be Tay McDonald. Jay Gladelick is going to follow behind him. Jacob Gladelick held in there. The number 20 and the 06 are currently down. Everybody last pit on lap 66. Notice that stretch. We are hitting much farther than we expected.
Jake Christenberry's joining them.
Yep.
Thought it looked like a good party.
Yeah, everybody being on fresh tires since lap 66. This has been their decent opportunity here to level the playing field. Right now, Dustin Kleba, I think, is the one getting the worst of it. Kleba would like to run down Dalton Tucker as Dalton Tucker's making a bid to make this a commanding win, and definitely a sought after one. As right now, Dalton Tucker in the points is like to be able to shoot his way up a few more spots before we start really crimping down into the chase for the cup right at the end. They do have to be within 400 points of the leader to make it into the chase to have an opportunity to compete in there for the cup, but it is going to be, I would say, 400 points. You miss 3 races, you're out of it. So it does require a lot of consistency out there, and Dalton Tucker doing just that here. If he's able to come away with a win, this will help separate and start spreading our guys there in the front.
Well, Dalton Tucker currently is sitting in third in the driver's standings. Brian Jones being first and Vincent Arthur second. If you want to round out the top five, you're looking at Josh Conover in fourth and Brady Moats in fifth.
Definitely a large chunk of cars here that are way off pace compared to the rest of the field here. We move back to Eric Essery, who sits in the 7th position. Almost 4.25 seconds off the lead, but we're looking at 3.5 seconds before we find Blake Hoppy. So this track is starting to get spread apart pretty good here. Take a look.
Very much.
Whoa, Hoppy!
Ow.
Hoppy looks like he avoids the wall. I think he scared himself into the next pit stop here. Right now, yeah, Hoppy just trying to wait these guys out to figure out when the best time to come down is.
Well, Brady Moats and Kevin Ballmer say right now.
All right, ducking out of the way is Dylan Picklesheimer. We'll see how this looks. I would say guys are going to stay a lot farther into that turn before coming down pit road. Using that turn to help slow them down. As right now, Cody Smith got the worst of that. 3 drivers have retired here for the night. James Hudson in the 88 made it 17 laps. Nick Gillis made it 18 laps. As he is sitting down there about 38 minutes. Spencer Burton made it about 51 laps as the number 6 car has taken it back to the garage. And our final driver of Cody Smith has taken it back to the garage back on lap number 63. Trying to return with Sam Taylor, but he returns back down into pit road for the next 3 minutes, trying to fix more damage on that number 12 car. So right now the new Ryan Newman team not having a good night here tonight. He's going to be looking to kick it back and try again next week at Stella. I wouldn't say is any better of a track.
Well, next week we're going to be looking at 300 laps at Bristol.
Yeah, not bad here by Dalton Tucker. Notice his pit entry here. Comes in hot and is almost sliding through turn 3. He is confident in what he's doing behind that wheel. Eric Essery still sitting in pit with Josh Conover and Matthew George. Coming down into pit would be Dalton Tucker, Blake Hoppy, and Al Likens. Now, these guys are way off pace, and they're going to be seeing if they can make up some distance here. Dustin Kleba, does he decide to stay out maybe 2 to 3 more laps?
Yes.
We'll keep an eye here as it looks like the number 9 ducking on off here. Yep, he realizes, all right, that's enough. I need fuel and maybe one extra lap on these tires. Hopefully he gets that thing woed up here before he heads on down into pit road.
Woed up.
Yeah, you like that. Well, with 900 ponies underneath the hood there, you got to do something. I don't think you can pull back on the steering wheel and hope for better luck. All right, now Vincent Arthur has decided to trade it up a little bit. Right now, Vincent Arthur came down on lap number 94. We'll check the distance between him and Dalton Tucker. Dalton Tucker will be starting behind.
Could not quite get out of there quick enough.
Yep, not fast enough. This may actually flip the table here, as Vincent Arthur has figured out if I pit 2 laps earlier, this will now give me the lead. Dustin Kleba now working his way out of the pit box. Not going to be in time as you see him exiting here. That is Vincent Arthur on the high side.
Ooh, yep. There is your lap.
All right, Stella, we're noticing earlier pitting is becoming more success. Dustin Kleba will now be behind his own teammate here of Cody Reeder.
Right back where he started in 5th place.
Yeah. Stella, if you wouldn't mind, figure out what happened to the 45 as the 45 of Brian Jones is a lap down here. Running in the top 3 does not seem to come back from it here, as this is unfortunate here for Brian Jones. So as the Evernham Motorsports, they've got 1 driver out of their 3 that are down here. Man, that definitely switches it up here. Right now, I would definitely say this is going to be a huge bite here for Brian Jones. Hate seeing him off pace this far behind. But he's going to have to pray for a caution to see if he can get at least one of his laps back. He's definitely got plenty of space between him and Christopher Height. Height's down in the 17th position, and he's down 4 laps. I believe Timmy Harper's down 5. Nick Pressey has gone ahead and taken it back to the garage. So Dylan Picklesheimer just has to go around about 20 laps or so, and he should be able to get back around him. So they are starting to peel off here. And I appreciate you guys joining us here at SimTraX Broadcast as we are watching this one here of the Carolina Dodge Dealers 240. This is currently Josh Kahn overtaking Jake Christenberry for that 6th position, and he's got it.
Yeah, and a quick update on Brian Jones. He had a commitment cone violation. That hurts hard.
Ooh. Well, not good there. Eric Essery moving up to the 7th position. Finally getting back up here. Something's going on with his pit crew, though. 1478 last time in. So not bad. But, man, I got to figure out what in the world is Eric Essery, what's going on with him as he fades back here in the field and is having to fight back up front again. Boy, 2 blinkers side by side here. Tay McDonald and Kevin Ballmer. Somebody's around there. I'm trying to find him. Let's take a look back from a car I can depend on. Right now, this is Jake Christenberry looking back at the AOL machine there of Kevin Ballmer. Tay McDonald doing his thing there in the back.
They seem to be stuck. That's good. No, spoke too soon. Oh.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's probably some of the worst of it here.
Well, Christenberry's going to be happy he's in front of them and not behind.
Yeah, well, it's hard to say who's going to pass who out there. You show them so close together and then they're gone. Right now, Christenberry would just like to be able to hang on and not get in any sort of trouble.
Speaking of trouble, I believe Nicholas Pressey has taken it back to the garage.
Yes, he has. Boy, came in a little late on that one. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I will not have you do without. This is the pass for the lead. Dalton Tucker has been actually running down Vincent Arthur here. Waits for turn 3 and 4, gets underneath of him here. Yep, and Vincent Arthur's got nowhere to go but backwards. You see that front end drag just a little bit. Dalton Tucker is able to stick the landing. Makes it on through, has the clear, swipes on over, dives into 1 and 2, and he's off.
Wow. Nick Pressey says by lap 70, his sim was speeding up and slowing down. He could barely tell where it actually was on the track. So it was better for him to call it a night.
So fighting mechanical errors are a couple of our drivers out there. Check out Dustin Kleba. Kleba, as we get a front nose view here. Right now, Cleveland not afraid of getting right into the rear bumper here. The only danger here with this, Stella, is when you get that close, is taking off that rear downforce to these cars. It causes them to slide around the track. And that might be what Cleveland's trying to do, not make contact and let the car give up on Vincent Arthur and then make his pass. Here he comes. Vincent Arthur going ahead and letting them all by.
Good.
So remember, Vincent Arthur came down on lap number 94. He outpit everybody to get some lead laps out front, but now I wonder if it's starting to take its toll already. Lap number 94, Dalton Tucker and Kleba came in on 96 and 97. But when you come up with that strategy, there's only one strategy left to go, and that's to continue doing what you're doing. It's not like you can really lengthen it longer than theirs.
Gotta dance with the one that brung ya, they say.
Yeah. All right, lap number 110 underway here. Right now we see Vincent Arthur dropping down to the 3rd position, still a respectable finish. If this is where he decides to quit, moving forward. Right now, Cody Reeder's going to be looking to make up the gap here. He came down to lap 94 as well. Seems his times are starting to stall out just a bit. Right now, Vincent Arthur running a 30.7 out there. Dalton Tucker and Cleaver running 30.4. Right now, these guys have these things on a rail. I think Cleveland would love to come away with a win here this season.
And just confirming for our viewers, this is not a win and you're in season. This is a true, you gotta get there by the points alone.
Yeah, so this kind of a race would help best for John Osborne. Him from any other leagues that we have out there. John Osborne actually is able to go out there. I don't think I've ever seen that guy win a race.
Mr. Consistency, though. He's
yes.
there and square, you know?
Well, it was the same with the Racing Revolution and Nick Alves. Same thing there. That boy couldn't get a win to save his life, but he made it to the Final Four.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's pretty tough out there. I think he was able to squirt out a win at this track.
Was it Darlington?
I believe so.
I will believe you.
All righty, let's check in on Al Likens. He's got the... Oh, boy. Yeah, Tay McDonald behind him. There's Jake Christenberry. Christenberry, yes, has 11th. Boy, oh boy. Great race here so far. Great race here so far at the Carolina Dodge Dealers 240 here at Darlington. Definitely you'll be able to tune in tomorrow when you tune into In the Fence. Brought to you by Dustin Kleba and Cody Reeder. Those guys are going to be spitting out their podcast out there on Spotify. And they say they are the best product in iRacing and want to be the official podcast here of the NORA League. It will be released Tuesday mornings around 8 a.m. For a recap here of the NORA League. And they're racing here tonight. Dustin Kleba sitting in that 2nd spot and Cody Reeder sitting 4th. I don't think they're going to have much to say about what the back of the field did.
Oh. Josh Conover looks like he's making some pretty good inroads on Brady Motes.
I would say so, but this is actually, I think, Brady Motes making inroads on him. Right now, Conover has gotten up to the 5th position here. And Eric Essery sitting right behind. Right now, another driver that's given us the opportunity to see how he drives. Eric Essery here in the number 32.
So close. Good to see that snap-on car was doing better than he did in practice.
Yeah, it looks like he snaps himself right off into 7th place. Essery gets around him, and it looks like the downed car of Brian Jones, who's currently set himself way back here. Checking in on Ed Adams. Ed Adams starting to floss on by. See him down on the bottom line. Conover working his way on around. And Conover looking for a top 5 here tonight.
That would definitely help his place in the standings.
Yep. Still, I don't know quite what happened out there. Dustin Kleba is running some of his faster laps out there, but does not seem to be catching Dalton Tucker. Off by 3/4 of a second. The lap before, he ran half a second faster. And now Kleba's running a 31. The only driver still hitting 30-second laps is Dalton Tucker.
Yes.
And
just barely.
Yeah. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Blake Hoppy as well. We want to talk about some odd strategies here. Brady Motes, Tay McDonald, and Jacob Gladelick currently coming down into pit road.
You're right, that is strange.
All right, now, Dustin Kleba looking to attack. Picks up another 10th here over the last lap. Right now he wants to make sure he keeps Dalton Tucker close. As pit stops are starting to heat up again. Last time they came down was lap 96 and 97. Kleba decided to hang out a little bit longer. I would say, Stella, what in the world is a commitment cone violation at Darlington? You get the yellow line, but you still have an inside cone. And that cone is placed on the inside there of pit road. So I don't really know how you can miss the cone.
All I could figure is maybe he ran over it.
There's the cone. There's an orange cone out there a little bit farther. Dalton Tucker is not one to miss it. He definitely comes down early and wants you to know. There goes Christenberry.
Wow.
Well, Christenberry came in on lap number 115. That's 4 fresh tires, and that's what that looks like. Christenberry got to drive the rubber off that car if he's not careful.
How did he come flying by?
Give it to Dalton Tucker, though, for still hanging in there. He's still driving his own race. He's not really pressing it. He's staying out just far enough. Make sure Dustin Kleba can't really reach out and touch him this time.
But he's got to come in eventually. Kleba's got an extra lap worth of tires and fuel on him, so...
Yeah, but has Kleba made a mistake here during this run? And that would be the reason for his fall off. He's sitting behind by about half a second. And our number 24 car is coming down pit. Cody Breeder is as well. Yep. Go ahead. Tell me who's the third. Oh, mistake here by Dalton Tucker. Tucker into the wall. A little nudge out of the wall there on 2. And the 18 car has crashed, but with no caution off the racing surface. This is what Dalton Tucker just ran up on. Oh my gosh. Aww. Talk about trying to get out of the way. Kevin Ballmer trying to get out of there. And that's Dalton Tucker slinging on by right about here.
Jeez.
Yeah, I thought we saw smoke out there, and it looked like the number 30 was trying to get out of there. But it's also hard to say when the 18 doesn't quite know where the 30 is. He's been blinking a bunch. Oop.
Dalton Tucker coming in.
Yep.
But Kleba and Conover, Hoppy and Likett, still on their 90s. There's
Ooh.
Hoppy and Likett. I was going to say on their 90s. Oh, man. Tay keeps throwing me for a loop. 90s tires. Josh Conover being the last holdout.
Bet you're expecting Tay to... You remember Tay back in the 70 car, don't you? Yeah. All right, let's check out there. Dustin Kleba. Josh Conover. Coming down pit road now.
I do not remember him blinking like this.
No. No, whatever he's done, it's been getting worse here.
Yes. I don't know if it's this particular car or...
Man, Brady Moats almost nudging the wall here. And if I am not mistaken, Brady Moats will actually be taking over the lead here.
I do believe so.
Yeah, he slings past Dalton Tucker. Dustin Kleba working his way out of pit now.
Not enough.
51 and a half seconds there by Dustin Kleba. Kleba going to be falling behind Tucker. He may even be falling behind Vincent Arthur, and he is.
Whoa.
Well, there's a teammate.
Yeah, but caused him to check up for sure.
And good job there by Cody Reeder. I'm sure he's going to follow behind him and see if he can help him get back up to the front.
Well, he'd probably like to get back up front too.
So Brady Motes has the lead, but only for a moment. Here comes Dalton Tucker. And he's showing the difference in those tires. 7 laps to the fresher side. Brady Motes has now seen the lead slip away from him. 24 car getting a lot bigger in that rear view mirror. Dustin Kleba sits 4th. Eric Essery is 5th. Leaving Cody Reeder down in the 6th position. Josh Conover came down lap 126. Almost 8.5 seconds before he can find Cody Reeder. Oh. Oops. Kevin Baldner is actually in 7th.
Yes.
That's what happens when they're blinking. We start losing even on the scoreboard where he is.
He just came back into town.
Wow. Well, Stella, that's what we try to do. We try to give everybody that opportunity to see how they race out there. Because the guys are considering race control. I'm sure NORA is looking for one. Somebody definitely keep their eyes in the sky and see what in the world is going on out there. You want to see some great race control? Tune in on Wednesday nights with the Bandit Racing League, as the finals are coming up soon. Next round of eliminations should be this upcoming week. They've got 2 race controls out there, making sure they see what is going on at all times. Somebody reviewing. The second one will agree or disagree.
I was going to say, is that always a given? Yeah, I believe one specializes in crashes and the other one specializes in everything else.
Yeah, well, rule books and faults.
Ah.
Yep. All right, so Vincent Arthur has now separated himself on lap 123. Kleba came in on 126, so this now makes a 3-lap deficit for Vincent Arthur on his tires. So his tires are already 10 laps in, and Kleba's going to go ahead and walk on around him there. Vincent Arthur hits the brakes, goes ahead and lets him on around, and is going to play chase. Kleba would love to find something to upset Dalton Tucker here. Dalton Tucker getting around some lap traffic there with Jacob Gladelick.
Yeah, but he's well over a second behind. You have to go back almost 3 seconds to see Cody Reeder.
Yeah,
Even though he's up 10 places from where he started, that's still a pretty big hill to climb.
Yeah, but you want to talk about something that would definitely upset this entire field if a late race caution comes in. I think Dalton Tucker's going to see the playing field get leveled again. This time, no one's going to have to save. It's going to be hammer down and go.
You realize we've gone the last 60 laps or so with no caution?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, not bad at all. Not bad at all. All right, Brady Motes, who got a chance to lead there, sitting down in 5th. Eric Essery may find him in the next 3/4 of a second unless Brady Motes picks up the pace. Currently, Motes is hovering just under 31 seconds. I think the driver in front of him, Cody Reeder, is running a 30.3. 0.6 of a second faster. Let's see how Brady Motes does this time around.
30.897. You will not be catching him right now.
No. No, not when Cody Reeder's running 0.6 of a second faster each lap.
Yeah, I'm just amazed from Josh Conover, who's 11 seconds behind the leader, to Jacob Gladelick, 34 seconds behind the leader, which I'm assuming will mean he's going to go a lap down here in just a moment.
Oh.
This is quite a spread out field right now.
Yeah, Gladelick has been lapped about 3 laps ago. And right now we are looking at Jacob Gladelick right there, and right now that is the 4th place driver that is passing him.
Ah.
Of Cody Reeder. Brady Motes will be the next one. You can see the white car up toward the top through 3 and 4. So Gladelick is a lap down, which leaves Matthew George, our last driver, on the lead lap. Ouch. And is really going to hate that we tuned in as soon as he smacked the wall.
It's boggling. I'm not quite sure, chicken or the egg here. Every time we look, he hits the wall. Or does he hit the wall because we look? You know, it's like he can't be tagging it that much or he would have nothing left to the right side of his car. But I think we're up to about 3 incidences at this point of seeing that.
Poor guy.
I know.
Boy, Tay McDonald.
Jay's in form. Yeah. Tay is, yeah, he's gotta find what running in the background or something. Or either that or just his computer doesn't like his car.
Yeah. Well, the only thing here, Stella, is when you're a driver out there on the track, sometimes it's a matter of half a second, faster than that something could be happening out there, and you're not quite sure what to do. You need to make a split-second decision. Right now, if I were to see Tay blink, I've even seen where the blinking actually starts flipping the car around, facing it towards you, shows him up in the air, and then he'll be back on the track for the 5. And then he'll be going, and a wheel will fly off, and the hood flies up, and then all of a sudden he's back fine. And being a driver behind him, you are petrified. Because as soon as I see a wheel come off, I'm already in avoidance. I've got a dart. I got to get out of there.
Absolutely. And so now you're jogging when nobody else thinks that you need to be jogging around. And yeah, it's, I can't imagine.
Yeah, you look like Cole Trickle on the first race.
Up and down kind of thing?
Right.
Side to side.
Yep, you're wandering all over the track. So, all right, well, as we're riding with Jake Christenberry, we just watched him drop down to the 13th position. That's Matthew George getting on around him. Christenberry did come down on lap 115. Matthew George on 122.
Yeah, we do have quite a span between the 115 of Jake Christenberry and then the 126. Yeah, of Dustin Kaleba.
All right, let's tune in here, Stella, to our battle for the lead. Right now, Dalton Tucker is seeing Dustin Kaleba coming up and giving him a little talking to. Yeah, see, right now, I think the number 9 is waving at him, telling him he is in the middle of his book here.
He's telling him he's in number 1?
Yeah. Now, right now, Dalton Tucker might be under fire here. Dalton Tucker's been running a heck of a race here tonight. It's later stages into this race when those tires start setting in. Dalton Tucker gets the pressure. So from Chip Nazi Racing, Dalton Tucker out there in the 42. Jamie McMurray car is watching that number 9 car. Here of Dustin Kaleba. Let's see if that Casey Kane car can make something happen. Right now he does get some separation. Kaleba almost was up there trading paint with him there for a moment, but Dalton Tucker now starts applying a little more fuel to that hungry engine to keep it rolling.
And he's back down under 30 seconds, or 31 seconds.
It must be nice to have that kind of speed in reserve. Hang out there in the back, but as they continue, they're trying to outrun each other, and that's going to run them into the back here of the field. Currently running into blinking Tay McDonald and Matthew George here. So we'll see how they deal with lap traffic when they don't know where they are.
Talk about a late race caution. So Josh Conover, Eric Essery headed down probably for their last pit stop. Did I just... Okay, I didn't see debris. No, I must have just seen him blinking.
Yeah.
Hey, they should be headed into the pits.
That may have been one of those situations I was talking about. as it shows something there that's actually not. Josh Conover sitting down in pits here, getting the tires on. Car's looking pretty good out there. No damage there to the 8.
I know.
Yeah, great job here. I don't know if he'll have enough fuel and everything to make it. Oh, changing it up here. Dustin Kleba coming down early.
Along with Brady Moats and Cody Reeder.
Oh, I love the strategy. So right now, Dustin Kleba has been pitting after Dalton Tucker, but is this time he's going to try to pit before Dalton Tucker. Dalton Tucker remains out there on the track. I think he sees what's happening. He's coming in. Man, does that guy whip that thing through 3.
Down.
Yeah, he'll get it here in a second.
Woo.
Gets that thing slowed down. Vincent Arthur coming in here in second, and Blake Hoppy. That's actually him wrapping around turn number 2 here. He's going to stay out.
He likes to get a lap led now and then, you know?
He will have that opportunity now. Going ahead and letting the drivers with the fresher tires get on around. Hoppy's known for staying out for fuel mileage. From this point on, we're looking at 26 laps before the end. Dustin Kleba has got to beat Dalton Tucker as he is shooting out of the pit road now. Kleba high side. Should see Dalton Tucker. There he is.
There he is.
So right now, Kleba is trying to put as much distance as possible on him, and he's now up to almost 2 seconds. Oh, man. This is going to be a nail-biter here at the end. Right now, Kleba has got to figure out how to maintain his tires as the 2-second lead over top of Dalton Tucker to see if he can yank the win out of the hands here of the 42 car.
That's a lot of laps to try to hold him off. Ooh, did he just make contact?
Dalton Tucker?
Yes.
He may have nudged it there. It's to be expected. A little nudge here and there is okay. It's when guys hit and then ricochet. That's when it's bad. You see guys nudge every once in a while, that's normal. Oddly enough, yes, that's normal. So a little scrub to the wall here and there. Dalton Tucker still following behind. Dustin Kleba. Blake Hoppy still remains out here on the track.
He does.
Well, Blake Hoppy last pit on lap 125. I believe this is giving him 27 laps on these tires. So he could still probably run another 4 or 5 laps here and come back down. But when the guys behind you, right now, Dustin Kleba running a 29.6. And Blake Hoppy is running a 31.6. You've got to come in sooner than later. Yep, here he comes.
He's coming. He's coming.
Yeah, I would say you're losing 2 seconds a lap, buddy. Just scrub it. Scrub it and come on down. So you see taking tires earlier is working out better. Jake Christenberry looking to get his lap back. But he'll only have it for a moment as Dustin Kleba sits right behind him.
Yeehaw.
Checking back on our time here. Kleba currently sitting 2.3 seconds ahead of Dalton Tucker. Holy cow. So he took a kind of a note out of Vincent Arthur's book there and pit 1/2 lap earlier and gets the separation he's looking for. But Dalton Tucker, I'm sure, is going to come alive here and start reeling him in. Boy, that's going to be close. Checking in on Brian Jones here. I think Jones is working his way down pits. There's a guy who wanted a caution. It's right there.
Yeah.
All right, this one's all but over. 22 laps left to go here at the Carolina Dodge Dealers 240. Everybody's waiting to see what Dalton Tucker can do. The Dustin Kleba still holds just barely 2 seconds, and I believe it has just broken under 2 seconds as he fights around lap traffic. Loses half a second, which was
Yes.
which is huge for him right now. Right now, Kleba's got to keep his head on straight and not panic.
Yeah, he's cussing though, I bet.
Oh, yeah. Dalton Tucker picking up the pace here. He'll be chasing. All he has left for Dalton Tucker using the draft here from Christenberry to help pull him around. Returning back to the track is Brian Jones in the 45. Not going to be able to help him, though. Might be able to help him, actually. I think Brian Jones has actually been able to get up there, and he is going to give a shove to his teammate. Fresher tires for the 45. So, Stella, do you think the 45 here starts pushing Dustin Kleba to get him back out there?
Well, not only does he push him, but the question is, does he block?
Oh, my gosh, it could. He could. I would say, some may say it may be a dirty move, but we will definitely see.
Decision.
Yeah, well, Dalton Tucker has now been stretched out to 1.8 again, fighting lap traffic.
Yes.
So it comes up and bites him, but not as hard.
No.
Bites him as bad as it got Dustin Kleba. But Kleba, no. Kleba not going to get any help from the 45.
Oh, I was going to say, what just happened? Because we lost everything that he had before. We are down to 1 second, 1.2. I'll be darned.
Yeah, with 18 laps left to go. I'm really surprised to see Brian Jones. Yeah. Yeah,
He's
100%,
in
100%
15th.
here. Holy cow. Would say a race is a race, but man, oh man, you hate to see that happen. Oh my gosh. Is that Christenberry and Hoppy going at it? Yeah, Hoppy gets to the inside of Christenberry here.
Yeah, with Tay behind him.
Now Hoppy looked like he got into the side of Christenberry on the exit of 2.
Ah.
A lot of struggles out here on the track. A lot of struggling. Now Josh Conover might be under fire by Eric Essery here. Essery would love to finish here with the top 5. Right now these boys haven't moved up too much here tonight. Conover up 4, Essery up 1. These guys actually started nose to tail of each other at the beginning of the race.
Does look like Timmy Harper. We went ahead and called it, right? 117.
Yeah, go ahead and go through our retirees. I believe it is from 19th on back.
I do too. I'm going to actually work my way up, starting with James Hudson, who made it 17 laps. Nick Geilis, who technically is still in the pits, I think. Spencer Burton, 51 laps. Cody Smith, 63. Sam Taylor right behind him at 67. We've got Nick Pressey, who went in on equipment at 90. And Timmy Harper at 118. Everybody else, whether they're a lap down or not, they are still rolling.
Yep. Here's a battle between Al Likens and Blake Hoppy. This is for 9th. And now Al Likens was all over him there for just a moment. Likens came down in on 149, Hoppy on 153. So Hoppy drives on around him and is pulling away. So speaking of which, taking a look back here, Dalton Tucker. Dalton Tucker for a moment had it under 1 second. Start reeling in Dustin Kleba. Kleba's now starting to speeding up a little bit here. That's currently coming up on the last lap times. Kleba gets away, I believe, with 20 thousandths of a second faster.
Man, that is tough.
Yeah, especially coming down. 12 laps left to go, 11 at the line.
Yes.
This is going to be a
He only
scramble
needs
here.
5. All he needs 5 laps to be even. Oh boy. Good though. I like it when it's tight. And
definitely have two guys that are both looking for a win here. All right, Dustin Kleba still looking at 9/10 ahead. Might want to start picking and choosing where he wants to start picking up the pace here if he's low on tire life. And I think Vincent Arthur is scrambling to make sure he stays in front of Cody Reeder. Cody Reeder is only behind by a second off Vincent Arthur, so there may be a battle here for third in just a moment. But we'll kind of keep tabs here on our guys in the lead.
Yeah, it'll be a win, first win of the season for either Kleba or Tucker, whichever one ends up coming in. And I only say that because Vincent Arthur is 8 seconds behind.
Yep. Josh Conover getting a breakaway here from Eric Essery. Essery was coming on hot there. 3/10 behind. And now less than 8/10 for Dalton Tucker to Kleba. 3/4 of a second, and now Hoppy. Look he's behind. So the Chip Nassy Racing driver of Dalton Tucker getting some much needed help from a Richard Childress driver of Blake Hoppy. Hoppy helps him out here for just a moment. Yep, keeps behind him. And that should help break him underneath. Yep, that's under 7/10.
Wow.
Kleba under fire here.
Look at the time just dropping off.
And we're sitting on top of Dustin Kleba's machine now, looking back at the Haviland machine. Ooh, check up through the turn for Kleba. Running into some problems. Notice how Hoppy is not making the pass here. Hoppy may not think about it, but he might not even know that he's actually helping Dalton Tucker here. Half a second.
Huge help.
Yeah, right now I guarantee you now would be a good time for for Dustin Kleba to be radioing up to the 45. 3/10 now. Yeah, let me tell you right now, I would probably say the number 9 is going to have crosshairs on that 31 for the next few races, because he's going to remember this. Dalton Tucker looked like he may have been not able to reach out and get him. And the 31 has done everything he can to shave off half a second, and he has. So Kleba is going to have to play some serious defense here for the next 5 laps. Oddly enough, this is going to be the longest 9 miles here of Dustin Kleba's racing career here. As Dalton Tucker has been racing around this track in the lead and does not enjoy the tailpipe smell here from Dustin Kleba. 4 to go. It's going to be a nail biter all the way to the end here, Stella, as we continue to watch this battle here for the lead. Robbie Gordon machine out there of Blake Hoppy, becoming an instrumental piece to this rundown.
Quarter of a second.
Yep. It's going to be close. Right now, Dalton Tucker may be setting him up here. I would say Dalton Tucker sits back, waits for a run, and then dive bombs into a turn. That'll give Kleba no chance to fight back. But does he do it through 1 and 2, or does he do it through 3 and 4?
Well, if you're looking at Days of Thunder, you do it through 3 and 4. If you're at the track, 2 is horrible. I mean, there's more wrecks at turn 2 than anywhere else.
Yeah, notice how Dustin Kleba here is fading up the track between 3 and 4. He may be showing his hand that he's having some trouble handling that race car. Might not have enough tire here. Now Kleba's hanging up tie a lot longer. Ooh. Oh, front plow. Front starts plowing here on Dalton Tucker. Tucker falls off now to 0.4 of a second. White flag this time by. Does the 31 of Blake Hoppy help Dalton Tucker? Does Dalton Tucker, is he setting up for this one? White flag, here we go. Dustin Kleba out in front. Turn number 1 goes solid here for the number 9 as you see Dalton Tucker trying to come up with a little more. Shaves off another half a tenth here as he looks for it. Diving through 2, he doesn't seem to be gaining any ground. Moving on through, 42, can't come up with it. Here it comes, final 2 turns. Right now, Dustin Kleba has got his eyes fixed on that rearview mirror, laughing it off now as he pulls through 4. Nothing but windshield here. Dustin Kleba coming across the line for the Carolina Dodge Dealers 240. He wins it.
Wow. All right, final Dustin Kleba, Dalton Tucker, Vincent Arthur, Cody Reeder, and Josh Conover. That's your top 5.
Dustin Kleba with the ingenious move out there to pit 1 lap before. He saw what it did for Vincent Arthur earlier in the race, and it works for him now. Excellent job here. Right now, I guarantee you, Dustin Kleba couldn't have been any happier and was nervous here right at the end. Notice this thing was about to go sour. I would still say there are going to be crosshairs on the 31, though. As I guarantee you, Kleba said, man, I guarantee you this was not going to be that close. Boy, Kleba coming away clutch here. Awesome job. Awesome job. Awesome job by all our guys here. These guys definitely made it happen. Awesome. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at where our finishing guys, where they ended up here tonight. Jay out there saying this is Dustin Kleba's first win since the shootout. Alrighty. Here are our guys. And you definitely see the spread out there in the field. Top 8 drivers still on the lead lap. And these guys are separated at least by a minimum of 3 seconds apiece.
Yeah, Dustin Kleba is currently sitting in 16th in the standings after Atlanta, and Dalton Tucker 3rd. So I can foresee Dustin Kleba making some really nice advances.
Yep. So we'll see how it goes. All right, lightning round coming up, guys. Hold on. All right, guys, pulling in with our third place finisher here tonight, Vincent Arthur in the DuPont Chevrolet. Once again, another podium position for you, man. Talk to me about this track and how this race went for you.
Yeah, it was a good night for the DuPont Chevrolet. It wasn't great, but you know, we kept it out of the wall for the most part. Didn't get any major damage, really any repairable damage, which is what we were looking to do today when we we got in here. So, just kind of kept our head in it all night. Did what we needed to do. I don't really think I had anything for the 42 or the 9. Little bit of pit strategy. Try to play a little bit of pit strategy to get out in front of them. Got out in front, and then they passed me like I was standing still. So, hats off to Dustin and Dalton for the 1-2 there. But yeah, just glad to bring home a nice points day and P3.
Yeah, definitely worked out very well. This moves us to Bristol next week. What do you guys have in store, man? It's short track racing. It's a love-hate relationship for some guys.
You know what? Short track racing with 900 horsepower and small tires, I think it's going to be a really good time. So I'll go qualify after this one. But from what I've run, these cars with the lower horsepower, with the old ARCA package at Bristol, it's fun. You can run pretty much anywhere you want. So increasing the horsepower, getting those 900 horsepowers of American power out there, it's gonna be really fun. So I'm looking forward to it. Probably put on a little more practice than I did this week, and hopefully we can go out there and continue this momentum.
All right, man. Shout out time. Talk to me about that Wake Up Narcolepsy.
Yeah, I gotta thank Wake Up Narcolepsy, Damn Good Sleep, sleephealth.org. Really, everybody who helps this whole campaign, go around both in the virtual world and also in the real world. So we start racing next month, and then we got pretty much 2 races per month from there until November. So be plenty of opportunity to promote them in the real world, and hopefully we can figure out a way to get them in here. Mix up the paint schemes a little bit and put their logos on there with an old 2004 Jeff Gordon throwback. So a lot of really cool stuff coming up. Thanks to all my viewers for watching the stream. Thanks to you guys for putting on this great broadcast. Thanks for Josh Conover for letting me do this week in and week out. And I'll see you guys in Bristol.
Congratulations, Vincent. We'll see you in Bristol.
Thank you.
All right, awesome job there. So that does move us on to our second place finisher. Close but no cigar. A lot of drivers are leading a bunch of laps here so far during these races, but are just unable to come away with the win. Dalton, did you think Dustin Kleba was going to set this up for you right here at the end?
I think me and him were both just talking, and we kind of knew whoever pitted first between us more than likely had it, because you'd get the 1.5 2-second jump, and once you catch them, your tires are about used up, so it's extremely hard to pass. And we've raced together so much, neither one of us was going to really hurt each other. So once I knew he was in front of me, I knew it was going to be extremely tough.
From our angle, it almost seemed instrumental that Blake Hoppy in the 31 was sitting directly behind you to help give you that extra 0.5 second squeeze that you needed right here at the end with 10 laps to go. I mean, did you think you still had anything left for Dustin Kleba right here at the end?
I thought I had some moments where I could have capitalized, but I don't know if Blake doesn't understand, but when someone's right behind you, it's extremely loose off of 2. And there was a few times where I think Dustin got in the wall in the middle of 1 and 2 where I thought I could capitalize, and Blake would also kind of capitalize on him having fresher tires and move up on me, and it just get me loose, and we'd start all over again. But I don't fault Blake for doing that, but it was kind of frustrating just having to worry about him and Dustin.
All right, man. Go ahead and wedge your shout-outs in here when you tell me how you feel about Bristol this coming week.
Shoot, with this car, it's going to be a handful. Every race so far has been extremely fun. Had a ton of speed so far this year. Just got to check off that win column, and hopefully we can do it at Bristol. It's going to be a long race. Hopefully not too many cautions, but it's going to be fun. Give a shout out to my team at Chip Ganassi. Michael wasn't able to make it. I believe he qualified 5th or so, and he probably would have been up there with me if the rest of the season would have been any telltale, but I hate that he wasn't here, so just shout out to him. I'm sure he checked in on you guys, and just appreciate Brady. Brady put up a session Sunday. We were able to turn some laps, and without that, I don't think I would have remotely had the same speed I had tonight. So, and of course, just appreciate y'all in the booth.
All right, Dalton Tucker, appreciate you, buddy. Congratulations. Close but no cigar, but I think your time is coming. You're close, buddy. Good luck to you, and we'll see you at Bristol.
Appreciate it.
All right. Awesome job here. Awesome job. So that moves us on to Dustin Kleba, who definitely was able to come away and made the call here of the night. Dustin, boy, those tires are about melted off there right at the end.
Oh my gosh, my old ass can't take this anymore. I'm exhausted. Yeah, there's definitely no tires left now, but dude, Dalton was not going to give it to me. I was hanging on for dear life. Beginning of the run, I was tight. Basically, the whole night I was tight, but by the end of there, I just had no grip. I think I tried to knock down the fence 2 different times, and Dalton was right there. So I think he might have got the wall with the 2 to go or 1 to go or something like that. I saw I had two or three tenths on him, and from there it was just like, don't do anything stupid, don't do anything stupid. And by some miracle, we didn't do anything stupid, and we brought it home.
Man, definitely it was a nail biter. I knew with you pitting 1 lap early, you took a note out of Vincent Arthur's book there, knowing that if you pit 1 lap early, that you would have a decent, a few second jump there, but it was going to come down to the last final laps. Blake Hoppy helping push Dalton Tucker up to the front, but also hindering him as well as he was getting loose out of 2 is what Dalton's saying. But man, oh man, you want to talk about a nail biter right here all the way to the end and finally coming away with your first win here of the season.
Oh yeah, for sure. I kind of learned from the 2 stops before that, the 2 cycles before that. I would pit, I'd get right up to Dalton's bumper, and I just use everything to get to him. I think I might have been a touch faster on the super long end of the run, but by the time I got to him, there's just no way I could pass him clean. I had used up everything I had to get there. So I kind of learned from that end, because I did that twice where I pitted a lap after he did. So then once I was in the window, I was like, okay, let's just do 1 more lap to be safe. So we did 1 more, and then I came in, and I was hoping he was going to come in right after me, which is exactly what he did. But I don't know, I had so many scenarios playing out through my head. I figured he might go long and then try and use the Delta and the fresher tires to catch up. But when he came out off pit road a lap after I did, and he had about 2.5 seconds behind me, then I was like, okay, we're gonna be all right. And because I had been coming out about 1.2, 1.3 behind him, and I was catching him, so I figured if it was 2.5, I might be okay. And yeah, just doing everything you're not supposed to do, basically, that whole last run. Staring at the interval, hitting the wall, making mistakes, overshooting the corner, undershooting the corner, just freaking everything. And I don't know how, but he got there at the end and definitely kept me honest. He did a great job of saving at the beginning and then having enough at the end. And yeah, Blake was kind of in his mirror and definitely affecting his focus on me. So if Blake wasn't there, could he have gotten around me? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. We had race clean each other all night, so if he was going to get inside of me, I was going to do my best not to door him or anything, but sure wasn't going to roll over and let him have it. So it definitely feels good.
Yeah, nice when somebody's chasing you and you're not chasing them. All right, go ahead and wrap in your shout-outs here as we come up on Bristol next week.
Oh, man, you guys better get comfortable. I don't know if you want to grab a blanket, a pillow, something. It's been a while. I know I did the shootout and I got that win, but that was different. This is
a pointable race.
Yeah, this is points. This is with the big boys. Man, it feels so good. And you just, man, it's so hard to explain. Like, I've been blessed to been super good at iRacing for as long as I've been doing it. I've been doing it for, gosh, it feels like forever, 11, 12 years now. And once you get to my age and you got these young kids coming in, you really start to question your talent, and you start to reach the point of like, oh man, if I'm not good at this, like, what am I good at? And so it's just having a run like this and going up against the best of the best. I think it just means the world. I think the cream really rose to the top. I think the experience rose to the top. I think the guys that have been around for a long time, running Gen 6, running the COT around this track, I think those guys really just are what kind of dominated. It felt super similar to when I'd run Gen 6, and it felt good. So that's right. You asked me a question. Shout outs. I'm rambling. Man, just shout out to my parents, my family, everybody that watches every single week. Shout out to you guys. I think this is only like the third or fourth time I've interviewed with you. So let's change that here soon.
Yeah.
So shout out to you guys for popping in here every single week and bringing it to our family. Of course, my teammates. Man, they do such a good job at feeding information before race, post race, during the race. Just we work really good together this season, and I think it's showing. Cody's going to get a win here. I can just feel it. This is one of his best tracks. He had a good run. And Brian, if he would stop stepping on his toes like I do, he would get a good run here too. So apparently all three of us can't have a mistakeless race. One of us has to bite the bullet. So shout out to those guys. Josh, all the admins that put this on. This was a great idea. Obviously, I'm super biased in this moment right now. 2 weeks ago, I thought it was the stupidest idea ever, but no, now this is the best idea. So they're doing a great job. I know they deal with us whiners, especially me. Like I whine all the time. I'm competitive. I always want everything to go my way, but I also want the league to be as best as possible. So all the admins deal with my whiningness. So it's not an easy job for those guys. So shout out to them. Shout out to our podcast. Cody and I started a podcast, In the Fence. Check us out on Spotify. We usually drop late tonight, probably be a little later tonight, which is the greatest problem ever. Gosh, I think I'm done. I'm running out of spit in my mouth. I'm sweating through my shorts. Like, holy cow, dude. I told you, my heart was pounding there at the end. Oh man, it feels good to earn it like that. So, okay, I need a nap. I'm going to bed. Kleba out.
Yep, well, Cleveland, we'll let you get to it. You still have to qualify for Bristol, and you got a podcast coming up. So, guys, don't forget to check In the Fence, the best podcast in iRacing out there, and the official podcast here of the NORA League. Congratulations, Dustin Kleba, the winner here of the Carolina Dodge Dealers 240.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, awesome job here. And Stella, what a race it was, and how well did he pull that off? And it was all the way to the end. I would say I was nervous seeing how far that went before we had guys screaming at the end. I'm sure, and he even admitted to it. I started staring at the intervals and started checking that mirror.
Yes.
Because going, here he comes, here he comes. Now, I wonder, if there was anything Blake Hoppy could have done different to help Dalton Tucker. I mean, don't get me wrong. Looking at it, he shaved off 5 to 7/10 of a second, putting Dalton Tucker right on his rear bumper. But could have Hoppy have backed off a little bit and gotten his own run and then kind of bumped Dalton Tucker up to the front? Possibly, but would have Dalton Tucker burned up the tires trying to hold on to that car? It may be 6 1/2 here, but regardless. Stella, anything left to add here?
That's a great finish to the race. Love to see it, and looking forward to Bristol next week.
I agree with you, and a hell of a way to start this week. Awesome job here from us here at SimTrax Broadcasting, bringing you the National Oval Racing Association, the Gen 4 Cup Series. Stay tuned at SimTrax for all the upcoming races that we have. We should have a bunch of them upcoming as well, and I'm sure we'll be scheduling more here after that. And we are still in talks there with the Bandit Racing League. We'll see how Season 14 likes to line up, and we'll get that. We'll present you guys with that once we come to a final determination of that. Dustin Kleba, Dalton Tucker, Vincent Arthur, 1, 2, and 3. Appreciate you guys joining us here tonight. Be well, be safe, be kind. We'll see all you guys next time.